Hi besties, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing what have people learned from you and what have you learned from them. And to do this really interesting reading that was requested by a viewer here, thank you very much for this lovely idea for all of us. We're gonna have 4 piles for you today. So this is the deck for pile number 1. This is the deck for pile number 2. This is the deck for pile number 3. And this is the deck for pile number 4. Now, I'm going to be using all of the 4 decks in all of the readings, but this is just to help guide you to the right reading. So take a look at which one of these 4 piles you're the most drawn to. And that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, if you feel drawn to all of them, trust your intuition. It will always drive you to the right readings. As usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this reading into 2 areas. The first area is what people have learned from you. And in the second space, we're going to take a look at what you've learned from other people. All right, so we're going to separate these 2 areas by 2 oracle cards. One oracle card for your area right there. And then another oracle card for the other people's area, what you've learned from them. Okay, so now let's take a look and reveal what it is. So what you've learned, what people have learned from you, wow, you have the Horned God. Oh my God, with life force here. What you've learned from others, patience. Okay, now that's making sense here. Okay, now let's put out your spread first of what people have been learning from you. And I'm going to use the light seers for that. So what have people learned from pile number 1, please? So pile number 1, you have the Hermit. You have the 9 of Wands. You have the Fool. You have the Lovers. You have the Page of Wands. And you have the High Priestess. Pretty unique person here, pile number 1, honestly. Now let's take a look at what you've learned from other people. Healing. The Source. And since this is a smaller place, I'm gonna lay out more cards here from what you've learned. So the way I'm gonna do it is we're gonna start here. You have the 4 of Wands, 2 of Cups with friendliness, participation, friendliness. You have the 7 of Pentacles with patience. And last but not least, you have the Lovers also. Isn't that interesting? Landing in the same opposite place. Very interesting reading here. So pile number 1, what I see here for you straight away, what other people have learned from you, is how to balance being a stable person, a good person, while having a very strong character. I think a lot of people learn from you how to lead others with grace and how to be a stronger person without hurting others. They also learn from you how to handle sneaky behavior. They learn from you how to set boundaries. They overall see you as a great leader. Pile number 1. It's one of the things that come across in your reading very strongly. People admire your strong character and they watch and learn and they take the plunge excuse me, in trying to do the same like you. They want to have this good balance of being a sorry, a good person, but at the same time standing strong for what is right. So you seem to also be a very spiritual person, pile number 1. You believe a lot in what the universe can give you. And you're always out there creating things and making things happen for yourself. And you inspire a lot of people to believe just like you, to believe in themselves as well, and to start new exciting things the way you do it, pile number 4. But most importantly, what they learn from you is strength in character, how to stand up for oneself, how to be a leader. You're just someone who people love watching and imitating, that's for sure, pile number 1. Now, it's very interesting how the lovers here are in conjunction to opposite energies here. You have the lovers here in conjunction to the hermit, and then you have the lovers here in conjunction to being out in the open. So I think you're learning things from other people to balance yourself out, and they're learning things from you to balance themselves out. And this is in terms of relationships with others, pile number 4. Pile number 1. You're pretty reserved with how you deal with others, and you could be right in this area for sure, and that's what other people are learning from you, because you take the time to get to know people. You don't open up to everyone. You make sure that you let the right people in. And while that's a wonderful thing here that other people are learning from you, but again, this combination didn't come for no reason. You are starting to learn from other people, pile number 1, how to be a little bit more open with others, sharing a little bit of yourself here. While you could be absolutely right about taking your time to get to know others, and that's why they're learning that from you, you're starting to realize here that it's also important to open up a little bit and get to know others, because with this slow process you might have along the way stopped being interested in taking in more people perhaps. And what you're learning from other people, pile number 1, or you're learning now, is that it's okay to take in these relationships slowly, but at the same time it's also equally important to get to know new people and open up to people a little bit, not letting them know everything about you and keeping yourself private, of course, but at the same time opening up and getting to know more people and being a little bit more out there. And there's a benefit to each one of these new strategies, and I think you inspire each other to learn from each other, where people learn to be more careful from you and only take in the right people into their lives, and you're also learning from other people how to be a little bit more open and explore with new people, because the more you meet people, the more you meet even more gems in your life, which you're going to love and celebrate and enjoy. And you'll think to yourself, how was I going to live my life without these beautiful people in it? So it's important to keep this balance here, pile number 1. What I see you've learned from people pile number 1. I see here that you have learned to live your life in a more balanced way. You're all about balance, but I think you had some black spots here, or blind spots, in other areas of your life, especially when it comes to your health, your mental health, and having a general balance in your life. You've paused to take a look at what other people do, what other successful people do in terms of their health, perhaps how they eat in a healthy way, or the different healing modalities that they've used to heal. You listen to experts a lot, and that's one of the people that you've learned from, pile number 1. You listen to the best. You always watch and observe where people have been successful at, and these are the people you ask questions. And what I see you've been learning a lot recently is how to heal yourself, how to live a more balanced life, how to treat yourself in a better way, and how to open up to more people, having healthier relationships. Now, I cannot ignore the fact that patience appear twice from 2 completely different decks here. So I'm just gonna have to say that it looks like you've learned to patiently change these areas in your life that you weren't working on from different people. So it looks to me, pile number 1, that you've been working very hard towards some areas in your life and ignoring others. You've learned now that it takes effort and a change in lifestyle, perhaps, and time. You need to give time, is what you've learned, to give yourself in the other areas of your life. You've realized from other people that it's very important to perhaps have better health, to enjoy your hobbies a little bit, or to get yourself organized. Whatever it is that inspired you with other people, I think now you've started taking the time. You've learned the value of taking the time, of taking care of yourself in these different areas. And I'm not gonna lie to you, health is coming very strong here. Also, pleasure, doing things that you enjoy, new things that you enjoy here, taking on new things that you enjoy, and also connection with other people is also coming in very slow here. You need to take the time. You've learned that you need to take the time to have better and new connections with other people. You've learned to respect areas very well now that you took for granted in the past. Perhaps these areas could be things like art, or being organized, or picking the right food to eat, having better connections with people. While all these things could have been a waste of time to you in the past, now these are things that you cherish, you take on responsibly, and you even guide others towards doing it as well. Now, taking a look back at what other people have learned from you, pile number 1, they've learned your passion in life. People are absolutely magnetized to watching you have a passion towards something and taking a plunge, believing that it's going to happen for you, and actually achieving it. People see you achieve big things in life and constantly celebrating big things in life, and they've been inspired to look at all the achievements that you've done. I mean, watching you do this new beginning, they wouldn't think you actually could move forward and achieve these big things, but they do see you achieve big things in life. They do see you harbor very unique and special relationships that comes from you putting in a lot of work to create healthy relationships, and that's why you're very picky here. And that is something that people really admire and are watching you and learning from you, pile number one. They are very, very impressed with how you can have a strong character but display it with grace, display it with honesty. And it's not like you're out there trying to prove that you're the macho person or the alpha, or trying to bully others around. People are learning a new type of strength from you, standing up for yourself, calling people off when it's not right, but at the same time being loving and giving, walking away, having the courage to walking away from what's not serving you is a big thing here for you, because there are a lot of strong people, but at the same time they may not have developed their internal strength yet to walk away from what's not right. But you have that, and it's something that people love about you, and they see how free you become when you do that, pile number one. Another thing, pile number one, you seem to be a highly spiritual person with a lot of spiritual gifts, by the way, and I think people look up to you with your spirituality. They trust your intuition. They feel like it's like you're connected with the universe in a very strong way. You have very high intuition, and it really comes off from your beautiful, pure heart, pile number one. You're strong, but like I said, you have the combination of being very strong, but very pure at heart. And people are just loving this combination. You've reached just the right balance here. And they look up to your exquisite spiritual skills. I don't know what you're up to here, pile number one, what you do, but you seem to be very spiritually gifted, and I think people listen to your spirituality, how you connect with the universe, how you talk to your spirit guides perhaps, and in general your beliefs towards life, and people love learning more about that from you and listening to that from you, pile number one. So pile number one, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number two. So in order to do this really interesting reading here, we're going to divide this space into two. The first half here, we're going to take a look at what people have learned from you. And on the other part here, we're going to take a look at what you've learned from other people. So to separate them, I'm going to have an oracle card for you here and an oracle card from what you've learned from people here. Okay, so let's find out, what have people learned from pile number two, please. I see this one popping up. I need to take it. What? Again? If you've picked pile number one and two, I wouldn't be surprised. What a coincidence. So you have the horned god again here. All right, let's see what you've learned from other people. Now, I'm not gonna, the horned god is I have pretty strong viewers watching my channel. I always say it. The horned god, now that's a very important deity in Wicca. A very strong character, pile number two. So this one's popping up. What do we have here? Pleasure. So that's what you've learned from other people. We'll find out more, of course, what these mean when we have a more coherent reading. So let's finish your part first about what other people have learned from you. So I see this, and I see this, and I see this, all as well as this. One last shuffle. What have people learned from pile number two, please? Thank you. So excited about this reading. You have the Seven of Swords. You have death and rebirth. the death card here. Yeah, let me put these a little bit right there so we can fit your reading better. You have the Emperor. My God, the amount of strength in character in this pile is unbelievable. Kudos to you, pile number 2. You have the Hierophant under the 7 of Swords. You have the Lovers again. Is so weird. You must have chosen pile number 1. Or some of you at least. You have the Lovers under Death and Rebirth. And you have, what is going on? Can you believe this? The High Priestess ending up in the same place as the last reading. How magical. Wow. Okay. So now let's take a look at what you've learned from other people. And just like we did in the last reading, this is a small area, so I'm going to take this whole other area for the other half of your reading. I see this one popping up. Let's take it. So what has pile number 2 learned from other people, please? What has pile number 2 learned from other people? Learning to do things better is coming strong here. Quality. Okay. Quality. Right. So you have transformation. Ooh. All right. Oh my God, 13. That's the Death card appearing twice. How interesting. There's mirroring here. So you have the 8 of Pentacles with ordinariness. You have the 10 of Cups with harmony. Let's go one more time. What has pile number 2 learned from other people? What has pile number 2 learned from other people, please? Thank you. So pile number 2, you have strength with courage here, the Strength card. You have, ooh, no nothingness. That's the Shunyata concept. We'll talk about that right under transformation. Isn't that interesting? Right under the Death card. Whoa, I'm mind blown. And you have the 7 of Swords with politics. Interesting reading, that is for sure. So pile number 2, what I see here is that people have learned from you how to be a more committed person in life. You seem to be a person who perseveres, and that's where your strength lies. You persevere in life, again, just like pile number 1, you believe in yourself so much. You believe in your skills and your capabilities and what you can do, and you're constantly changing your life to the better. And I see a lot of people looking at how you're able to take yourself out of sneaky situations, bad situations in life, a bad job, a bad relationship, you name it. And you're able to constantly transform your life by being committed and believing in yourself and the universe. People are also learning from you, pile number 1, how to love themselves, because it looks like you're very proud of yourself. You nurture yourself, you talk to yourself in a healthy way, and you have a lot of self-confidence. You have this no BS, what is it called? Tolerance, no BS tolerance. 0 BS tolerance. That's what you have here for sure. And people are learning that from you, not to accept the bad things in life and just live with it, not to accept sneaky relationships or toxic relationships, not to accept a mediocre life. They watch you and they learn how you transform from a life that you don't like into a new one that you absolutely enjoy, one that you create yourself, pile number 1. And this amount of belief and love and confidence that you have in yourself really gives you this commitment that you have, because you truly believe that you can do something great in life. And this is what people are absolutely amazed by. This is what they watch and look up to you for, and learn from you, pile number 2. Now let's take a little break here and take a look at what you've been learning from other people. So see, pile number 2, you're a person who loves to grow. And you have been learning how other people have transformed your life. Pile number 2. You've learned from others how to transform things about your personal life that you see. This is why I'm telling you, it's you pile 1 and pile 2 are very close. It's just mind-blowing. You've learned that there were certain areas in your life that you were not looking at. You see the mask here. It wasn't important to you. And as life went on, you've realized that these are things that you've ignored and thought weren't important because you were very focused on achieving big things in life, have harmed you in another way. And so you've seen how the other people that were successful in these other areas have done, and you went from absolutely not caring about these areas at all to blossoming and changing yourself completely, and now believing in them totally, advocating for it, and having a lot of love and pleasure from these transformation. It's really mind-blowing how pile 1 and pile 2 are very similar. It's just blowing my mind, really blowing my mind. Not just with the same card and the same cards appearing, but the same message appearing strongly, with a little bit of differences here. So maybe this is an extended reading for some of you, either for 2 or 1. Perhaps some of you, pile number 2, have ignored a little bit. Oh my God, it's even similar to pile 1 in that. Have ignored connecting with other people because they brought you a lot of pain. You've met a lot of toxic people in your life. But I think you're now starting to learn from other people, pile number 2, the importance of mingling with others. But this time you're taking it from another perspective. You've realized that there's a blind spot here of, yes, perhaps not everyone is a good person. There's always manipulative people around us, people who gaslight, people who have issues. And it's not the right thing to block ourselves completely from our social lives. Here you're starting to learn from others how to develop this area of dealing with the different types of people, so that you don't have to cut yourself off completely or go full throttle in. You're learning how to play the social game, per se, here, from different people around you that you find have fun socially. Pile number 2, you feel like they can guide you to maneuver around it in a healthy way. You see them having fun doing it. And it's really here not about you being weak or not having a strong character. If anything, you know how to set your boundaries and you're a very strong person. To you, it's either black or white. You're either honest, or you can turn the tables and be very mean. it's what you're learning here from other people, pile number 2, how to have a middle ground, how to be in the middle of not fully calling someone off and hurting them completely, and not keeping quiet about it. So this is what you're learning here from people, how to have a healthier social life, pile number 2. Either you're learning that, or you're in the process. Either you're learning that, or you've already learned that from other people, pile number 2. Now let's take a look back at you here with the self-love that we talked about. People are learning from you, pile number 2, a healthy dynamics between yourself and yourself. How you deal with yourself is what I'm trying to say. They see that you're in your lane. You are not a person ever to compare yourself with another person. You're all about transformation, being inspired from others, seeing the best that others have and learning from it and becoming better, and never comparing yourself to other people, feeling lesser than, or wishing anyone any harm just so that you can progress. You don't want other people to fall down so that you can feel better about yourself. You're not about that, pile number 1. You're about actually achieving the big dreams that you have. And it's this healthy relationship that you have with yourself, how you support others and how you wish them well and how you grow, is one of the key things that the people around you love about you. They can see true confidence in you, not fake confidence, genuine confidence that stems from real self-love. And you feel that the universe loves you as well, and that God loves you, or your spirit guides love you. You feel loved, pile number 1, even when you're alone and no one is there. You know you are a good person, you respect and love yourself, and you know that you are loved. And that's why you shine, exude love. You exude goodness from you, pile number 2. And this is definitely something that people look up to you for and learn from you every day. It seems like not a lot of people have this healthy combination here, and the horn god is all about balance here. People watch this balance from you. They learn a lot from it, to how to have healthy strength, of knowing how to defend yourself, how to stand up for yourself, and how to love yourself at the same time, pile number 2. So pile number 2, that was your beautiful reading of what people have learned from you and what you've learned from others. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. So as you know, we're doing a reading about what have people learned from you and what you've learned from them. And in order to do this reading, we're going to split your space into 2, where in this area we'll be talking about what people learned from you, and in this area we'll be talking about what you've learned from others. So to split this into 2, we're going to have 2 oracle cards, one for you and one for other people. So let's take a look at what people learn from you. You have the Book of Shadows. Interesting. You seem like a skilled person with a lot of experience. Generally, people continuously learn from you. Pile number 3. Okay, we'll see what they've been learning. Now let's see what you've learned from other people. You're coming off as a truthful person with the roses here. As you may know, the Romans, they used to have roses in meetings, and if you're sitting under the rose, you have to speak the truth. So it's called Sudarosa. So it looks like people are learning honesty and integrity from you, pile number 3. So what you've learned from others, ooh, you have trust here. Okay, we'll find out more, of course, about what these mean when we have a more coherent reading. So let's take a look at your tarot cards and see what have people learned from pile number 3, please. What have people learned from pile number 3? So you have the King of Wands. You have the Two of Pentacles. You have the Chariot. Interesting. Okay. You have the Devil under the King of Wands. You have the Two of Cups under the Two of Pentacles. Interesting. And you have the Magician right under the Chariot. Wow. When we talk about skilled person, we really mean it here. A very skilled person. Okay, so now let's take a look at what you've learned from other people, pile number 3. So what has pile number 3 learned from other people? So for pile number 3, this is a short space. What I've done in the other readings is use all this area for what you've learned from other people. So you have the Eight of Wands with traveling. You have the Page of Wands with playfulness. Okay, you have, this came out, let's take it. The Five of Pentacles with the Outsider. You have pile number 3. The Nine of Pentacles with ripeness. You have Thunderbolt, which is the Tower. Last but not least, oh, this is coming out. What is that? The Seven of Wands with stress. A lot of wands here on the other side. So pile number 3, you're obviously giving me here very strong CEO vibes. People learn a lot from you when it comes to how you're able to take yourself out of tricky situations. So maybe your business went through some very rough times and you were able to come out of it very strong, building something from zero to hero. People watch you in tricky situations, being able to come out of it in a very smart way. And this is why I feel like you really have CEO vibes to you. It's like whatever situation comes to you, you're able to think of it cerebrally and find a way out of it successfully. Ceremoniously, is that the word? Celebrating it. You are capable constantly of taking yourself out of tricky situations, never crying or feeling stuck or feeling like there's nothing you can do. You always feel like, okay, now it's time for us to roll our sleeves Let's get our hands dirty. Let's figure out how we're going to take ourselves out of this. And you put your head in, you work hard, and you take yourself out of it. So there's a lot of CEO vibes where you're not afraid when tough situations happen in your life or in your business. You think about it slowly. If others panic, you're the one who's going to go, okay, wait, hold on. Let's think about this. Let's see what we can do and how we can take advantage of what's happening and how we can take ourselves out of it. And in fact, building on the CEO vibes, when you find yourself in difficult situations, you know how to collaborate with others. You build healthy relationships, and there's give and take constantly between you and other people, and you're able to negotiate and discuss different deals, collaborate with other businesses, perhaps collaborate with others, make brilliant deals and negotiate it so that you swiftly, smoothly, and quickly run to the other side, creating a lot of success. And so pile number one, number three, I'm not gonna lie to you, people really feel that you're capable of doing anything, of achieving anything, and that you truly deserve to be a CEO if you are a CEO. And if you're not, pile number three, you are a CEO here. You are just brilliant, and that's one of the things that people learn from you. You also come off as a person who loves learning. You read a lot, you educate yourself constantly, and because you educate yourself, you're knowledgeable. You've learned from the different phases that you've been in your life, from the different challenges that you've seen and decided to take on, and now you know how to handle things better. Another thing that I see about you, whether you're already a CEO or not, by the way, it doesn't matter. It means you just have it in you. So like I was saying, another thing that I see here is that whenever you have an idea, you take action, pile number three. And this is the difference between you and the people around you here, is that while other people could perhaps find it a good idea and take a little bit of action in the beginning, you are the one who's going to persevere, continue doing it until you achieve what you want. I love the piles today. So far, I'm seeing a lot of perseverance in you guys. I'm seeing a lot of work in you guys and skills. I'm so proud of you guys. Great job. And this is why, as you can see, you take action, you move, and you become an even more skilled, experienced person than what you already are. And that is what takes you from the tricky situations. You never fall a victim of your circumstances, pile number three. You never keep blaming the environment or the people or whatever it is that you can blame. You always take yourself out of this victim mentality and think, okay, what next? What am I going to do to take myself out of this into something amazing that I love and that I deserve? And as you progress in life, you see other people being stuck in their place. You wish you can help them, but you see the opposite side of how people think about this. You see them being stuck by their own mentality, sometimes blaming others or feeling like they don't have the skills to do it or the experience, feeling like they'd rather you keep helping others, but you realize they're just stuck in their ways, not wanting to put in the effort, not wanting to progress enough. They want your blessings, of course. They are impressed by you, there's no question, but you can see from your side the limiting beliefs that people have that keep them stuck where they are. Pile number one. So what have people learned from you? People continuously learn from you. It's an ongoing process, pile number 3. They learn from your perseverance, the experience, the skills that you have. They seek advice from you because they know you're going to be honest and truthful in sharing your knowledge. You don't mind doing that. And they feel inspired. Although I feel the people around you, pile number 3, a lot of them, they feel inspired a little bit, they move a little bit, but then it phases off and they don't continue. And this is where a lot of the problems arises with them. And this is why there's a striking difference here between the people around you and you, pile number 3. In fact, with a lot of people, actually, you have a lot of characteristics to you that really do make you a great CEO as a character, pile number 3. Okay, so now let's take a look at what you've learned from other people, pile number 3. With the playfulness in conjunction to the 7 of Wands, which is depicted as stress here, I feel, pile number 1, you're learning to relax from other people. You're now valuing the importance of taking things slowly, working without harming yourself, and learning to chill a little and enjoy life a little. And you are going to be keeping the two ideologies together. You're never going to let go of your hard work and putting in the effort needed, but you're now learning, or you're starting to learn from others, that it's also important to have a little fun in life and to enjoy other things in life. Take a little break off and take a holiday. It won't harm you in any way to take some time off, just a little bit, to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You're learning not to be stressed when you give yourself a little bit of time, or give yourself a little bit more, so that you can enjoy your life better. Because, oh, you're also learning to take care of your health here again, just like pile number 1. And while persevering was very important for you in the beginning, pile number 3, to reach a lot of successes that were important for you, I think whether you've reached these successes or not, you're learning that the other side of life is equally important, and that there has to be balance, and that you can't continue to burn yourself, feel burned out, or not sleep, or not eat healthy, or not take a break and have a little bit of fun in your life. And while it seems like you used to label these things before as time wasters, now you realize that they're very important and that they help you progress, pile number 3. So kudos to you there. You're perhaps learning to trust others, to delegate a little bit more, and just enjoy yourself, because taking care of your health will take care of you, pile number 3. So great job that you're learning to enjoy the other side of life as you keep your energy in progressing. And I'm very happy because the people around you, pile number 3, are learning so much from you, and you are a kind, generous person with the information that you have. You don't mind sharing it. So you're a great inspiration for the people around you. So pile number 3, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. So we're taking a look at what have people learned from you and what you've learned from them. And we're going to divide this space into 2, where we're going to have what people learned from you in this area, and then what you've learned from other in this second space. To do that, we're going to separate them by 2 oracle cards. So for your oracle card and what people have learned from you, you have crystal ball with insight. Looks like you're a wise person. Pile number 4. Okay, let's take a look at what you've learned from other people. Pile number 4, you have, I'm seeing this one. Whoa, purification. Interesting cards. It's like both of them are shining out in 2 different ways. I wonder what this is about. Let's take, it's like both of them are 2 things that you look at, but for 2 different ways and 2 different reasons. Let's take a look at your tarot cards and find out more about what this means here. All right, so pile number 4, let's take a look at what have people learned from you. What have people learned from pile number 4? And I feel this one as well. Let's see. Pile number 4, you have the 2 of Cups. You have the Fool. You have the Knight of Swords. You have, wow, the Hierophant. It really amazes me how some cards come from different piles and they end up in the same place. So that Hierophant was in pile number 3 in the same position. Okay, you have the Hanged Man under the Fool. Interesting. And I'm seeing this one pop up. You have the Ace of Cups under the Knight of Swords. Ooh. Okay. Now, let's see what you've learned from other people. Okay, so pile number 4, you have, I see this one popping up. Courage with the Strength card. Whoa. What a coincidence. 2 blooming flowers here. Interesting. You have the Page of Pentacles with Adventure. Okay, I'm gonna fill out, what I've done in the other piles is I've filled up the whole area here for what you've learned from others because it's a very small space here. So I'll fix this in a moment. You have unbelievable how the same cards come up. It's just unbelievable. You have the Death card here with Transformation. You have Awareness here with the Chariot. You have Integration. This is 14, this is Temperance. And you have the 10 of Cups with Harmony. So pile number 4, what I'm seeing for you here is that you seem to be a very spiritual and wise person. You're not afraid of following your heart and doing what other people are not doing. So you can see here that your society has a lot of traditions when it comes to doing certain things in life. You are not that person, pile number 4. You follow your heart and you always take a look in a different perspective about what you're about to embark on. So if this is a new relationship, you don't have to do it the way society believes you should do it. You do what is right for you. If it comes to your work, if society is expecting you to lead a certain life or work in certain jobs in order to be special or important or credible, you don't look at all these things, pile number 4. You're all about your internal happiness. You have a lot of internal wisdom about following your heart, following what you believe in, and people learn this courage from you. They learn the wisdom that you speak, because when people question you and think perhaps you must be crazy doing all these weird things that you do, and they listen to your perspective about it, pile number 4, they realize that it's a very wise perspective and it does not come from a crazy, weird place. And so people really change with the death card here, change their perspective about the way you're living your life, from thinking you must be crazy and naive to thinking that you're the one who's living it right. You're the one who has a different perspective that frees themselves from the traditional or the social norms that keeps them down, weighed down, doing things that they don't love, or working in things that they don't like working in, or being in a relationship, or living life in general the way society expects you. Because to you, you have one life. You do not care whatsoever about what other people are going to think, and you're going to live life your way. And that's one of the things that the people around you really learn from you. And I know these are their cards, but I can see here their perspective. It's like, do you see how the flowers, they turn to take in the sun? And I see people turn towards you to find hope, to find happiness in life, and to find a better way in general of living life. I see here a lot of people transforming the way they live their life because of you, and changing their perspective, and challenging other people's with the ideas that they've heard from you, because it really feels like it makes them feel more balanced. And you really have this great effect on changing people's old ideas, throwing it out of the window, and having people rise and become a new person and take a more adventurous life that feels real to them, rather than living a dead life. See, you make people rise from a tough situation, and making them realize that there's a better way to live, and they don't have to be stuck, that they're choosing to be stuck, and they can end it anytime they decide to. Pile number 4. So gosh, I admire your personality. Kudos to you, pile number 4, and thank you for inspiring others the way that you do. Okay, so now let's take a break and take a look at what you've been learning from other people. Pile number 4. I see here, pile number 4, that you've learned a lot from others when it comes to strength. I think you've watched a lot of you're a great observer, that I can tell you. And you've learned a lot from growing up from the people around you. It seems like you were surrounded by courageous, strong people, and you've learned from them, and you continue to learn from them on how to be a stronger person, how to put yourself out there more, because you're very courageous in one area, as I can see, but you're learning, or you've learned courage from another area. You've learned how to stand up for yourself from other people, and you've learned how to show your true character, show who you are, be confident about displaying who you are, properly presenting yourself well. You've learned that along the way, growing up from other people, pile number 4, because it seems you're very blessed with having people who know how to present themselves very well in your community, maybe from your school or your family, and you've learned up watching these people shining, being the center of attention, having confidence in presenting themselves to others and mingling with others. So you're obviously well developed in this area as well, but you've learned it from the people around you, pile number 4. You've learned to harbor healthy relationships from the people around you that you enjoy very much today. With the Chariot here, I really do see that you've made a transformation at some point in your life when you were a child, perhaps, of being more adventurous, putting yourself out there, being bold, presenting yourself to other people, and growing into a balanced person that knows how to be gracious, but at the same time knows how to be outspoken, and say what they want. And this resulted in you being able to have healthier relationships with others. So great work there. You've learned a great skill for yourself, pile number 4. And this is probably why here you're very capable of presenting yourself well and opposing the norms, because you've learned how to be bold, how to say what you believe in, how to stand up for what's right for you, not being afraid of what other people are going to think, pile number 4. So with the Death card here, the transformation card being at the center of your reading, I really do see how others, as you growing up, have had a great effect on building a strong character for you, and building being a person who has a lot of communication skills. But at the same time, I also see how you've had a great effect on others when you've grown up here, leading the way towards living your more authentic self, not being afraid to live the right life for yourself, and to show a different perspective and be who you are. And I see that you've transformed a lot of people from one traditional point of view to looking at how you see life and taking on a new perspective of a more balanced way to live one's life in order to be happy. So kudos to you, pile number 4, for that. I see as well here, pile number 4, that you've created a community or a society around you that has the same beliefs, ones that you can talk to and connect with in a better way, because in this community you're all living your authentic lives and you look at things in a completely different perspective. A very, I want to say, cool community here that a lot of people look up to and would love to join. And that's what I see here for you. A very interesting community, pile number 4. So pile number 4, that was your reading on what people have learned from you and what you've learned from other people. I loved your reading. I love your character and personality and how you've grown. So all the best of luck in your life, pile number 4. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!